We had a big recruiting weekend in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with their top targets on campus. Two priority receivers. We'll start with them. Ethan Booby Feaster, wide receiver Kenny Darby, who's also committed to LSU. They were both on campus. Steve, how are they doing with their wide receiver targets?
Well, Feaster really felt at home around the players and coaches. Time spent with the wide receivers, guys like Ryan Williams, freshman quarterback Keelan Russell. They made him feel at home. He's got a great relationship with Jamarcus Shepard, the receivers coach, his track record of development at the position throughout his career. And then the conversation with Kalen DeBoer, the vibe in Tuscaloosa. They're loving everything about Alabama. Talk to his parents also. The Tide are definitely one of the front runners for Ethan Booby Feasters. They battled Texas A&M, LSU, and USC, among others. I could see him in Alabama's class. Kenny Darby, wait and see what happens with some of these other top targets. He's committed to LSU. That's going to be a tough pull, but they're certainly in the middle of it for Feaster.
All right, one of the more intriguing visits to me, Hawaii offensive tackle Malachi Lee. He's about 6'8", massive human being. He made his way from Hawaii to Alabama this weekend. What's the latest?
Came with his parents, came with all his siblings. By all accounts, it was a great visit. Alabama is one of the front runners. I've always had Michigan near the top of the list for Malachi Lee, so I know the Maize and Blue are strong in it. Georgia's pushing hard, but Alabama right there at the forefront of the recruitment for Malachi Lee. He's at Texas this weekend. That's the program he probably knows the least amount about of his finalists. But Alabama, this is one of their most coveted targets regardless of position. His whole family had a great time. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from Malachi Lee because the initial buzz is that Alabama did a hell of a job.
Yeah, sounds that way. All right, Jet Washington, one of the top priorities on the defensive side of the ball. The elite safety was in town this weekend. Steve, good things?
He's been to Alabama 3 times. This was his best visit yet. He talked about the way they develop players, the plan they have for him. He was on campus into Monday. Alabama's very real in the recruitment of Jet Washington. Oregon's getting a lot of the headlines there, but don't sleep on the Tide.
All right. Any other intel coming out of Tuscaloosa this weekend?
Yeah, I still think Alabama leads for Nolan Wilson. He's one of the top defensive line recruits in the country. They'll have to hold off Miami, among others, but the way Alabama treated him and his family, he felt at home. They continue to set the bar there. Alabama's giving linebacker Braden Rouse a lot to think about. There's been a lot of Tennessee buzz around him, but don't sleep on the Tide for Braden Rouse. Jeff Tamala, on 300 quarterback, unofficial visit to Alabama, committed to Iowa State, but things are picking up fast with Tamala and the Crimson Tide. Heard it was a great visit. He's at Iowa State this weekend. We'll see how that trip goes. But Alabama gave them a lot to think about with their history, program prestige, and this fast-building relationship with Nick Sheridan, Ryan Grubb, and Kalen DeBoer. Now, Alabama's another quarterback visiting this coming weekend, Josh. Matt Ponatowski from Cincinnati tells me he's going to take his official visit. He, too, was offered by Alabama in the spring. So the Tide looking to flip Jet Tamala or land Ponatowski. But they got a chance to finish at the number one class in the country and hit big at quarterback still. Sincere Johnson's the number 1 recruit in Ohio, 4-star linebacker. The Buckeyes are the on 3 RPM favorite, but heard this visit went as well as it could have. He was very engaged, asking questions during the player panel, spent a lot of time with the staff, sees great opportunity at Alabama as well.